Good morning. Welcome to DBD Daily. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, our story is out of India, where there's this really awesome couple. They're a tribal couple. They quit their jobs and they sold their gold in order to keep football alive in their village for girls, which I think is beautiful. So, a lot of people said football was just for boys, so we gave it to the girls. In rural Bengal, one tribal couple rejected the age-old rule and sparked up a football uprising that is rewriting futures. What's really cool about this is it's actually changing their community in a really big way. So, battling poverty, taunts, and societal barriers, Raju and Lalita Auran are helping Advasi girls, and I'm going to butcher this, so please don't write hate mail, in Shaima Nagar and Bahadar Hati to put on their boots and their dream of wearing an India jersey one day. So their journey began in 2016 when their daughter Ishka wanted to play. The village said no, so Raju and Lalita quit their jobs, sold their gold to keep her training alive. The backlash was brutal. The community and the village locally said girls in shorts will shame their society. Raju didn't flinch. He said, well, if my daughter wants to play and can play, why can't yours? And that line helped them open up some doors. Their tiny training circle became the Shamangar Unite Advasi Football Academy, then became the Bahandar Harda Advasi Sporting Club, where boys and girls play together, practice together. One rule stands firm: if you can't pay, you can still play. I love this so much. Slowly, their village transformed. Parents who had once hid their daughters are now pushing them onto the field. Today, 70 to 80 girls train, and 20 more in 70 to 80 girls train in Shah Menagar and 20 more in Bahandar Hati. So for years, the girls just played 2 to 3 matches a season. Then leagues like the Karachi Cup and Resilience Foundation now are embracing this movement. The impact exploded. So they have 13 state titles and 7 unbeatens in the Golden Baby League. Players reaching the Sabarutu Cup and even the Indian Women's League. So at the heart is Budharam Tudo, an ex-East Bengal striker and top scorer for the 2011 CFL season. He returned home to teach the girls on the muddy grounds to monsoon slush. If you learn to play here, you can play anywhere, is his mantra. The biggest victory isn't trophies, they have been told to say, it's freedom. Run, fall, rise, and dream. Children don't want to rest, they want to play. So what a beautiful example of a couple who saw a need. Their daughter wanted to play football. There was a lot of pressure locally in their village and in the surrounding area to say that girls wearing shorts was shameful. And they really turned that on their head and pressed into it and put their money where their mouth was. Literally, they quit their jobs, sold all their financial to start this league, which is now a sporting club, and making a difference in, think about how many girls' lives, how many boys' lives in their local village, of bringing pride and support to something that their daughter wanted to do. I think this is a fantastic story, and you can check it out. It's pretty recent, actually. So it started in 2016, but there was just a story published about it. And that story is published in the Better India. And once again, I apologize for all of the mispronunciations of everything, which I'm sure I butchered. But our health impact today from Acts of Kindness is about telomeres, which are protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes. So DNA is unable to be changed once it's created. Once that spark of life happens, 2 becomes 4 and 4 becomes 8. There's no more changing that DNA. However, there is a strengthening and a weakening of those DNA strands that's possible, and they're actually really, really impacted by acts of kindness or inversely stress and anxiety. So stress and anxiety, which is often built up when you have So when you have a lot of stress and anxiety, it produces really negative impacts on our actual DNA strands and weakens them. So cortisol, which is really important hormone, it saves our life in a fight or flight situation, is great because it converts our energy from fat and sugar into like usable energy when you need it. But when you stay in that state for too long, based on overexposure to anxiety, stress, and these type of things, it builds up and causes a ton of inflammation and negative impacts on our body, including impacts on our DNA. So acts of kindness have been proven consistent altruistic behavior to strengthen those fibers, to cap the ends, and actually have been proven to extend long life, extend our lives. Whereas stress tears those fibers down and shortens those DNA strands and actually can shorten our lives. So acts of kindness can actually slow our aging process, which is beautiful. So today, thank you so much for joining us. Do your best to be radically kind to just one person. You are the only person who can be authentically you and have an impact right in your circle. And as always, it just boils down to just don't be a dick.